Hello, I'm Suzanne Michelle Powers, and this is Creativity 1 in the Visual Arts. I hope you watched our first video introduction where I introduced myself and what this series of videos is going to be about. If not, make sure you check back and see it. I'll give you a good perspective of what we're going to be doing. Today we're just going to have this discussion. I'm going to give you some suggestions on what to be doing and when we start our lessons next week. So you want to have the supplies I listed for you: the charcoal pencils, drawing pencils, sketchbooks, charcoal itself, rubbing instruments and cloths, and sketchbooks of all sizes, and a bag to put everything in. You may want to get your easels now, a variety of easels I wanted to show you. This in particular is a little one. I have a little painting to show you, this little easel. If you have little pieces of paper you're drawing on, you want to just spotlight them, you can use something like that. There are table easels, and just your kitchen table, flat and nothing on it, will help. A drawing table with slant, whatever you need, and what you think is best for you, where you feel comfortable. Also remember to get a pencil sharpener. So today we're going to talk about what is art, what is an artist, master artists through the times in the Western Hemisphere. This is Western art, and books that you might want to look up in the library or buy, of various artists and movements that we have experienced in our Western civilization, influencing the visual arts. So, first of all, what is art? When I teach this to children, this is one of the questions I always have, and they write out for me what they think art is, and it's surprising sometimes what their idea of art is, but it's always pictures, a visual picture of something. And there's a variety of subjects in art: portraits and still lifes and landscapes, seascapes. There's a variety of ways to picture things in art, and you decide what you want to work on first. If you're interested in drawing people, then do that, draw people. If you like trees, draw trees. If you want a variety of things, that's okay. Or your pets. A lot of people love to work with pets. But we're going to look at what makes up art. We're going to take it apart. These are the elements of art that we're going to work with every week until they are tools that you always know, or a way of putting your work together that will just be part of you as you draw, as you paint, whatever. And these are the laws of art, or the elements, or the fundamentals. And that's going to start next week. So pictures, the elements, and it's subjective. Not everybody's going to like your art, or they're going to like some of your art. There are going to be some people that love something in your art and don't like really the rest. It's okay. You're going to have to learn to take the criticism or the people ignoring certain things. And that's all right, as long as you like what you're doing. And we'll also go into the professional angle late in the series. Those of you who don't want to sell your work, that's fine. And some of you may want to try to do that. There are several online galleries that will probably accept your finished work if you feel like it's ready. So we're going to have a variety of ideas, and using the elements of art and using the power of observation. And that is something art is all about. It's the main power of art and in artists, the power to really observe everything around you and to select from your environment or from a person's face what you want to make into art. It's another statement on what reality is. Art is also a big influence over the language arts, and surprisingly, it's the science. Painting is physics, and a lot of painters are physicists. I'll be bringing them up through the videos, and I'll introduce you to different physicists in painting that a lot of people don't think of them as scientists, but they are. So we'll go through all these big ideas and take them down to smaller levels. Not only will I be doing what is art and all the parts of art as we make our art, I will be introducing you to what is an artist. Are you an artist yet? Are you just interested? Have you worked for a long time? I started drawing and painting when I was 3. And I worked and worked all through my life, and by the time I was in my 30s, I considered myself an artist. Before that, I thought of myself as a painter. So these are levels that people reach in their development of their talent and with skills. Also, there are apprentices, and apprentices help an artist put together the piece of work they're working on. For instance, a major artist that was discovered as an apprentice is Leonardo da Vinci. And this is his notebooks, a book of his notebooks, and all kinds of beautiful pictures, drawings in red Conti crayon of his figures, his people, the amazing renditions of muscles, and also his inventions as an engineer. He was an engineer, but he wanted to be known as an artist more than anything because it makes people smile. So we're going to be studying who Leonardo is, Michelangelo, the colorist, full of beautiful colors in his paintings and fabulous sculptures, studied the human form in depth. And these are people from long ago in Italy. Leonardo da Vinci ended up in France. He was ostracized from Italian culture. And these are my giants from the Renaissance who propelled Western Europe into modern society and a beautiful idea of life through art. Studying science, engineering, math, language arts, communication, all kinds of things, and of course art. Leonardo da Vinci invented the camera, which changed a lot of artists, but a lot of us do not use that camera for our art as an instrument. So we have these two giants for me. I suggest you find a book on each one of them and just take a look at some of their artwork they left for us in this century so long ago, and such beautiful paintings and drawings and sculptures. And those are master artists from the Renaissance. And then I skip over in my influences to Impressionism and the beginning of modern art. And the French are just really well known for being a haven for artists, and we have Monet, who's often considered the father of Impressionism, which is the physics of painting in light in color. And it's an amazing thing to see his work, Monet's work, and how he influenced other artists to realize that around them the light was changing, the speed of life was changing, the Industrial Revolution was coming in, and he wanted to savor the beauty of the world through his beautiful techniques of painting. And he influenced many, many artists around him. Then after the Impressionists are the Post-Impressionists, and they were very profound to me. Van Gogh is my outstanding artist from there. Kandinsky, just before him, coming out of Russia, a Jewish artist who took apart painting mathematically and geometrically and became more and more what we call abstract. And abstract art is one where my friends who approached me get all mixed up because they have had bad teaching, or no one took the time to explain what it is, what art is to them, what abstract art is. And it's really the highest form of thinking there is. Imagination, innovation, entrepreneurship, inventiveness, just playing with shapes and forms and lines. That is the influence of abstract art, and Kandinsky fled Russia as the Bolsheviks took over to Germany, and then fled Germany to France, his final haven, as the socialists and the Nazi Party took over, and he developed beautiful paintings that became more and more abstract in his age. He was a teacher, and he really was one of the biggest influences in contemporary art, although a lot of people don't realize it. So I suggest you find someone from the Impressionists. There's a whole book on Impressionism, and the Post-Impressionism, because those are two distinct schools, and they are very profound on modern art and what art is about. And then, of course, there was Picasso, and he's probably the giant in Europe over us. He started neoclassic art, just beautiful neoclassic renditions of figures, and ran into Braque and Cubism, and the geometric breakup in the plane that he worked on, and in the figures he painted and drew, presented to him a whole new way to look at art and environment around him. He's probably the most famous abstract painter there is. And in his later years, he became a very simplified, very primary artist with themes, sweet themes of peace, childhood, so on. Old Picasso, amazing. I have the sketchbooks of Picasso. I recommend that. It's kind of a story of his whole history. I saw that show in Boston. If you get a chance to see an art show, please go at your museum or go to a gallery. Please visit these places. Find out what the artists in your area are doing, and also look up in books and read about the different styles, and maybe some of them will really appeal to you. I don't know. But we have Rothko in the end, and Rothko, to me, he was like one of the last abstract artists he's a Russian-American Jewish man who taught in Brooklyn. I can't get the book out. And I want to show you how profound his abstract paintings are. It looks like two colors there, right? Two rectangles on top of one another. And actually it's layers and layers of materials that he applied, paint and textures. He was an amazing color field painter, and he's probably the biggest influence on my last works that I'm doing. Some of these people were teachers. Some of them were just influences. A lot of them were poor. They were subjects of churches or states. Michelangelo, for instance, his intellectual group were Pentecostal, but they did this amazing performance art, I guess you'd call it in a way, this amazing production of the Bible and the figures from the Bible for the Roman Catholic Church. All right, so getting to know an artist, maybe one a week would be great. Checking out books at your library or buying them, adding to your personal art library is a good thing to do. Pick your favorite artist or someone you want to know about. There are a lot of contemporary ones right now. Sometimes I'm in shows with these people and exhibitions, and on cyberspace there's more of these happening. It's a lot of fun to try to exhibit your work. There are local shows, art fairs locally, and once you develop your art, you might find you want to frame it. I'm sure many of you will. And children's art is really popular right now, and you might want to enter it in school fairs or in art and wine festivals, whatever. So you learn what art is, have ideas about what art is to you. And it's very subjective, but it requires the power of observation. And that there's a lot of science and math and language arts in art that we don't really notice right away, but the foundations are there. And then what is an artist? Who are you as an artist? Where are you in your personal growth? And what is an apprentice? Someone that helps an artist put their work together. And who the master artists you love and would like to know about, and a book collection started. So, and my art, I have thanked Monet and Andy Warhol for changing all very old ideas of art and brought in modern art. These are cups I sell in my gift shop with watercolors of the natural bridges over in Santa Cruz. They're part of the Marine Life Sanctuary, Monterey Bay Marine Life Sanctuary. They're really pretty cups. There's 4 of them altogether. Very commercial art, as one would used to think, but not anymore. Andy Warhol was a commercial artist who wanted to be a fine artist and find out what fame was. Those were themes of his. And he made wonderful art of famous people in abstract colors, his own pop colors. And he used diamond dust on a surface texture. So anything can go in art anymore. And I guess that's why my friend, when we were working together, came up to me and said, well, I don't know what creativity is. I had a teacher who didn't understand it at all, and I just came away confused. And really, it's just because it's become a wide open experience to discover yourself in an art form, what you like. You may like drawing and sketching. I hope you like painting too, and try everything as we go along with these different parts of art. There are different ways, medium, to express yourself. Expressing yourself is what I'm going to be emphasizing. So be in touch with yourself, be aware of what you want and what you like and don't like, and be confident enough to ask people around you what they like that you're doing. And just ask them what they think. Be strong and take it. If it's negative, maybe you'll learn something. If it's not, if it's positive, you'll feel wonderful, believe me. Thank you. See you next week.